Yo, what's good? It's your man Michael Gainey with the What Gainey Says podcast. And as y'all can see, we are on video with it in the car. I know it's not your normal podcast setup, but man, it just feels good to be on camera, man. The last two episodes have literally been recorded in the car, actually. But we were just doing it through voice recording. We weren't doing it on video. So, man, it feels good, man. I just want to say I'm very appreciative of everyone that has reached out, that has just been supporting the podcast, man, has been supporting my mission. And so super grateful for that, man. All the Snapchats, the Instagram DMs, the phone calls, the texts, man, like, man, it's just been amazing. So thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart, man. And just to hear the impact it's had already, man, just really touched me, man. So this is the original reason why I wanted to start the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, to impact, to let my voice be heard, to change the world, to change my community, to change people's lives, and giving my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been passionate about just development and just going hard, man. Like, and so I got a great episode, man. I got a lot to talk about, and there's so many names I can name this episode, because this one's going to be vulnerable. This one's going to be getting deep, man. And, you know, I thought about turning my pain into purpose, or, you know, greatness is mandatory. But at the end of the day, thinking back on it, you know, there's so many ways that you can turn your pain into purpose. And I feel like that's just what I got to name this episode, man. Like, it just falls in line with what I'm going to talk about. And so originally I started the podcast to impact others, to reach a multitude of people. And just to see that we're doing that, man, is just honestly amazing. And so I feel like, as y'all know, as y'all was listen to the last couple episodes, you know, I've dealt with anxiety now for 3 years. And so a month ago, literally, my anxiety was just killing me, man. Like, it was literally getting the best of me, to where for like 2 days straight, everyday normal life was literally just not easy for me. And so for a while now, for like the last 2 years or so, I feel like I've been running from God's purpose, running from God's will for my life. And I feel like a month ago, when I was struggling with that anxiety, I finally was like, God, like, okay, I'm going to stop running from you. Like, I'm going to stop running from you, and I'm going to start living in my purpose for you. Whatever your purpose you have for me, I'm going to do that. Like, I give up. I'm done running. I wave my white flag, bro. Like, I'm done. And I feel like from that moment on, God gave me a overwhelming desire to want to reach, impact, and just be a leader in my community, be a leader amongst my peers, be a leader to people, and to reach them and to impact them. And so I feel like for the last, I would say, four years of my life, I feel like God has dragged me through hell. And I can't say a lot of that's not my own fault, but God's dragged me through hell to get me to a place now where my wounds and my cuts are now scars, and I'm stronger now. I'm in a mental and emotional headspace to reach people, to lead people. God has given me this ability, and I'm not going to waste it, man. I posted on my Snapchat and my Instagram that God has given me the ability to lead, the ability to go and get what I want. And my desires have changed to where, like, now this ain't just about me. Like, I want to change the world. Like, I want to change the entire world, man. And like, I'm gonna get to how I'm gonna change the world. I know, like, Gainey, how you gonna change the entire world? Like, nah, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna change the world way past my lifetime, man. I might not do it in my lifetime, but I'm gonna do it. And so I feel like for the last couple years, like 4 or 5 years, God has dragged me through hell, dating back to 2018, when I was on my deathbed, looking at my last breath with a brain tumor, with a brain cyst, like even just thinking about it, bro, it's like, how did I overcome that? How did I do that? And I can't necessarily sit here and say that it was all me. You know what I mean? Like, God definitely intervened, because God wasn't done with me. God wasn't done with me at all, and he had big plans for my life. And I feel like I'm starting to finally see the fruits of that labor of what he's calling me to do. And so looking at that, man, heart stopping 2 times, having seizures, my brain had hydrocephalus, is where the fluid in your brain makes your brain expand, and that's what caused the seizures and stuff like that. And it was the most excruciating pain of my entire life. It was so bad to where I was throwing up blood. It was so excruciating. It's such a hard time for my family, but somehow God gave me the strength to just persevere and to lean on him and to trust him. And it's crazy how, like, you go through the hardest times of your life, and it's like that's when you really want to get with God. And that's how I feel like happened with my anxiety. Like, it was just so tough, it was so hard, and it's like you always run to God in the hard times. And it's like, in that moment a month ago, I was like, God, like, I don't want to just run to you when times is hard. Like, I want to know you. I want to have a relationship with you outside of pain and misery. Like, I want to know you, man. Like, I know you love me, because for some reason you're always on my mind. You don't leave, you don't go anywhere. Like, every time I F up, you're there. And it's just like, I've seen God's grace and mercy through the hardest times of my life. And it's like, I'm going to submit to that. Like, I'm going to submit to what God's will is for my life. I'm going to keep God first, and he will take care of everything else. Like, and so, so I feel like 2018 was like the physically hard time where I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to take care of myself again. And it was just unbelievable. I literally was a miracle, man. I was a miracle, and it was because of God. Like, ICU for 9 days. Literally had a tube in my, like, bro, it was just crazy. I got a shunt now in my head. So as you see, I got a scar right there. I got a scar in the back and on the side somewhere. It's a tube that's in my brain that goes down into my stomach. I got a cut on my stomach that hurts all the time still. But I got a cut on my stomach to where the brain fluid now leaks into my stomach. And so I got a big lump in my head. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. You see it? Yeah, my hairline's all messed up because of it. But I'm just grateful to be alive, man. And it's crazy because even after all that, I still was hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still wanted to see what the world is like, God without you. Like, I had shiny object syndrome. You just see something and you just like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta get it. And so 2018 was really rough physically, man. And then 2019 came, and 2019, although it wasn't the most physically challenging year of my life, it had to have been the most mentally challenging. I think I was about 3 months away from getting married. And me and my significant other at that time, we had decided to go separate ways. And so her being like my my high school sweetheart, I was 16 years old when we got together, and I think I had just turned 22. So basically I had grown up with this girl, and she was like all I knew. And so for us to kind of split ways, especially after having such a hard year the year before, I had to learn how to rely on God again. So I had to rely on God when my life was on the line. I had to rely on God when I was going through the relationship breakup. And in that time I got really close to the Lord, but I can't necessarily say that I guess I could say I was fully committed, but for some reason I stepped away. Again, I had smoked weed for the first time in my entire life back in 2019, and as you know from the first episode, that's how I developed the anxiety and the panic attacks and stuff like that. And so then going into 2020, actually I had a phenomenal 2020. Like, I had gotten to really, really good shape. My finances was good. Like, I had saved more money than I ever saved in my entire life. Money was no issue. Like, everything was just looking up, man. And then me and my ex had got back together. So 2022 was like perfect. Like, it was a win. Like, I was winning, bro. Like, we had rekindled. Everything was good, man. And then 2021 came. And so this is where I want to start getting into the topic of like turning your pain into purpose. 2021 came, and I would say out of the last couple years, from 2018, 2019, man, like 2021 had to be the hardest year of my entire life. Men in the world, I wish there was more awareness to men's emotional health. Men aren't necessarily cared for and supported when it comes to how they feel, how we feel, and being vulnerable and things like that. Like, the world doesn't necessarily respect men that are emotional, and by emotional you don't necessarily have to be sensitive and a crybaby and get your feelings hurt really quickly. Like, emotional, like you feel emotions, you're expressive, like, and I would consider myself emotional just because of how expressive I am. I don't get my feelings hurt easily. I'm not a crybaby. Like, that's not what I mean. Like, I feel feelings, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is something that the world doesn't respect. And so, going into 2021, me being someone that does show emotions, got to a point where I felt like I was no longer heard. I couldn't, when I would express myself, I just didn't feel like people cared. Like, people didn't really respect it. And so I started to try to suppress how I felt. All the non-masculine emotions I tried to suppress. So when I would feel sad, I would hide it, and no one would know. No one would know. And it got so bad to where I would everything would get so bottled up, and I would get so just to the point of bursting, and I would do something stupid. I would hurt someone I love, not like physically, but like I would say stuff I didn't mean, and freaking punch dents in cars and stuff like that. Like, thank God I didn't punch no holes in the wall. Almost was close, but you just get to a point where it's like you even get hopeless. Like, you're hopeless because it's like, one, you're suppressing how you feel, so it's like you have no outlet. You can't get rid of those negative, hurtful emotions. You're just carrying it and carrying it and carrying it. And I feel like that is so unhealthy to do, because you get to a place where you can't even express your positive emotions correctly. You can't even express your positive emotions. So now your positive emotions, you don't know how to deal with your emotions entirely. Like, it's a horrible place to be. You feel hopeless. And that's how 2021 was for me. Like, I got to a place where I lost myself. I lost myself on a level that I never thought could even happen. Like, everybody that knows me knows I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Die-hard fan. Everybody that knows me knows I love Florida State Seminoles football. Die-hard fan. Don't miss a game. Don't miss a game. I think for the Buccaneers, I didn't miss a game for like 4 years. 2021, I think I missed like 8 games. I probably missed like 8 to 9 games. I was not the same person, man. Like, football was a way for me to express myself. I love cheering and cussing and just adrenaline rushing watching the games, man. I played football, and so obviously I can't do physical sports anymore because of my head, but that was a way from, I loved it. I love it. Like, I love watching my teams play, man. Like, it's amazing. And even the gym, like, I gained 30 pounds in 2021. The gym was no longer important to me. Like, I could not stay consistent in the gym. And like, the things that I loved, I slowly started to lose interest in. And I got so low and so hopeless because I could not understand how to properly and positively express my negative emotions. And so at the end of 2021, this was end of 2021 was like, bro, I literally do not know what else to do. Like, I had no idea where I was going, no idea what was going on. What does life hold for Michael Gainey? And so I went to therapy for the first time. I definitely recommend therapy. Therapy is not a bad thing. Therapy isn't for weak people. Therapy is for strong people that need help being strong again. Like, therapy is so important. And I'll tell you why. I was able to go into therapy and express how I felt. No judgment. No one sitting across from me telling me, and I'm not saying people necessarily did that, but the way I was feeling, like, this person that I'm speaking to, this therapist, was 100% for me. No matter if my views, I didn't even know my therapist's views on anything. So just me positively expressing my emotions, oh man, the relief you get, it's so amazing. You're in this setting, there's the dim lights, the waterfall, the candles. It's so quiet and peaceful, and you're able to express yourself on a level that's it's so amazing. So I recommend therapy. I recommend you going and expressing and telling and getting the weight off of your shoulders, man. Like, I 100% am for it. You can go on Google and just look up therapist in your city, or wherever you're at, and a whole list of licensed therapists will pop up, and you just go through them, read their bios, read what they specialize in. This is also something I didn't know. Therapists specialize in different types of trauma. Like, and it's amazing. Like, whatever you're dealing with, like, go find a therapist that's right for you. And it may be a little pricey, which is why I actually decided to step away from a more traditional therapy, and I started meeting up with my pastor once a week, because my pastor is pushing me more towards my spiritual goals and my spiritual health. And I feel like spiritual health ties into my mental health and my overall well-being as Michael Gainey. And so I needed spiritual pushing, and I know that trying to keep God first in my life, I need a spiritual leader that's helping me walk that path. So I stepped away from more traditional, but for my own personal views. And so I go into the meeting with my pastor, and I can express how I feel the same exact way. I save $120 a meeting, and he's pushing me more towards my spiritual goals and closer to God. And so whether it's therapy or, in my personal opinion, or my personal therapy now, was definitely worth it to get in front of somebody and express how you feel and hear their insights on how you could better, or how you could better your life or better your situation, like, is crucial, man. So that ties into how you can turn your pain into purpose. For me, I couldn't begin to turn my pain into purpose until I submitted to God's will for my life, and I was able to get the weight that I was carrying off my shoulders by expressing how I felt to a therapist and to my pastor. And so these things that I was struggling with in 2021 kind of came into 2022. Thank God that 2022 has not been nowhere near as difficult as 2021 was, and that's because I decided to take action to better myself and turn my pain into purpose. And so 2022 has been a great year so far. Like I said, like, I'm back on track with God and my spiritual goals. And I started a real estate investment company, Truth Properties LLC, Florida, baby, you already know. And I also started this podcast, and I got a huge promotion with the job that I work at. And so 2022 has been absolutely amazing so far. Not to say that the hard times, I'm still not out of the hard times, I feel like, yet. And so just taking it day by day and just setting goals for myself, and just being so focused and so driven on becoming the best version of myself possible so that I can change the world. And so, talking about changing the world, this is how I'm gonna change the world. And this is, a lot of people don't think about it like this. So, me being little old Michael Gainey in Pensacola, Florida, how can I change the entire world? Well, I believe that not only through my voice, through the internet age where, everything can be put on the internet so people all around the world can hear what I have to say and change their lives individually that way. I personally feel like I change the world one person at a time through my seed. So through the kids that I have. Because let me tell you how. The kids I raise, which I know how I want to raise my kids, they're going to grow up and be great people. They're going to raise their kids. They're going to grow up to be great people. And the cycle, you just start this domino effect. And so 200 years after Michael Gainey's gone, the Gainey name is still being carried on and continued. And my values and my virtues and what I want to see in the world grows and grows one lifetime after the other. And so that's something to also consider, like, how do you want to change the world, and how you taking your pain and dealing with it can really impact your children, your wife, your husband, like any significant other, your mom, your dad. Like, it's crazy how emotional health can really affect a lot of your great relationships. And so I definitely recommend dealing with your pain. I don't recommend using drugs or alcohol or anything like that. I did get to a point in 2021 where I was using alcohol to kind of numb myself. And it's so crazy because at the beginning of 2021, my uncle actually passed away from cirrhosis of the liver because he suffered being an alcoholic. And I always vowed that I would never get to that point in my life. And there I was kind of towards the end of 2021. I think I got drunk like maybe 3 days in a row, unfortunately. Like on the third day, I was just drinking like vodka, like straight out the bottle, like chugging it. And I just remember like throwing up all over the place and just being like, this is disgusting. And we were, it was like this party at my mom's house, and I ended up crying. And man, I never want to get back. I'm never going to get back to a place like that. I'm never going to get back to a place like that. Like, God has opened my eyes to what I want most in my life, who I want to be. And it's like, that's all that I care about, bro. Like being the best version of myself possible and changing the world and impacting my community, impacting everyone, man. So yeah, man. So turn your pain into purpose. I was able to do that through, my spirituality, therapy, getting back in the gym, like slowly. It's like the domino effect. Slowly these things start to kind of like fall in place. And like, you see the world differently. Like, I remember seeing the world as like, there's no point in me being here, bro. And like, that literally breaks my heart to think that I was at a place where I didn't feel like I belonged here. That I didn't feel like I belonged in society, or I didn't feel like I deserved to be here, or I didn't feel like it was a point of me being here. Like, I will never get back to that low place ever again in my life. And so there is purpose in the things that we go through. It's not necessarily easy. It's not necessarily, fundamental either. Like, a lot of people go through things and you never really know what to expect next out of life. I think that you have to find a solid foundation that you want to lay, and you have to understand who you are and what you want to do and where you want to go in life. And then you surround yourself with people that are on the same mission as you, and you just continue to work. And then also, I want to just speak to the young men, or men in general. It's easy to be lazy. It's easy to neglect your responsibility. But I feel like as men, we already live in a society today's America, where men are weaker probably than ever. No one wants to take care of responsibility. No man really, well, I'm gonna say no man, but like most, or for what you see, you know, men are not wanting to take care of responsibility. Men are not wanting to keep jobs. Men are not wanting to keep families. And I feel like y'all can't, from my own experience, like you can't put pleasure before your dues. Like you must pay your dues as a man. And like from what I've really experienced from my early 20s is that it's due paying time. This is where you pay your dues. It's not about having fun right now. I mean, of course you have fun from time to time, but right now it's about paying your dues. Right now it's about taking care of your responsibility, building yourself up to be the best, greatest man you can possibly be. Getting your money together. You know what I'm saying? Like getting your money together, getting your spirituality together, so you can accomplish the things and go and do the things you want to do. Job comes first. Your work, your money, your income. That's how you take care of your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like you go and get your money. You take care of your 9 to 5 first. Okay. You work on your side hustle when you get off from your 9 to 5. So 9 to 5, side hustle. It's not in side hustle. You don't necessarily got to have a side hustle. But if you don't want a side hustle, 9 to 5 and then pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't pray all night to God for blessings and for success and then get up and turn the PlayStation on in the morning. No, you got to go pay your dues. In the gym, you got to pay your dues. At work, you got to pay your dues, and then you go play. It's that simple, man. So, I had a friend of mine kind of steer me in the right direction last year, 2021, into 2021. He was like, Gainey, like, I don't know why you think that you can have fun, or why you think that your pleasure comes before your dues. It doesn't work that way. Not as men, it does not work that way. You got to take care of your responsibilities. You got to take care of your work. Your purpose is your work, bro. And reading that really changed my perspective. Like going to work wasn't going to work no more. Going to work was, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Like going to work was fun. Like I'm advancing in life. And so turning your pain into purpose, man, like figure out how you can release your pain is huge. For me, it was expressing and it was submitting to God. Like that's by far the best way that I have dealt with my pain. And so y'all, I appreciate you listening. I know this probably was like 30 minutes long. I'm super excited, man. I could go on, bro. I could go on for 2 hours. Like literally, I have so much to say. But thank y'all so much for listening, man. Thank y'all for watching. Give the video a like and comment if you feel like it. Comment. What that does is that puts my platform or my videos in front of others that aren't subscribed to me. And so the more you like, the more you comment, hell, even share if you want. But yeah, and so again, if you want to keep up with me, my Instagram is hustlehard_97, and you can follow this show's Instagram at whatgaineysays. But man, this is so fun. Like just seeing the impact we've made already. Like I love it, man, and I love seeing other people relate to what I go through, because that's literally, man, it's like I want to help you get through it, because I know what it's like. Bro, like I know what it's like to be looking and facing every day with no purpose, no real reason on why you're here. Bro, that is such a scary and horrible place to be in. And I feel like turning your pain into purpose is so crucial, y'all. Let's get it, man. Let's get it, bro. So I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. All the new subscribers I got, thank you. All the new followers I got on Instagram, thank you, man. Like this is so fun. I love y'all, man. I want to see everybody eat, bro. I want to see everybody eat, man. So deal with your pain, man. Turn that pain into purpose. Let's get it.